Welcome to Drumchapel St.Andrew's virtual church. I hope you're well and I hope that you're doing okay. I hope you're finding a way through this because, again, it feels hard just now. It's hard with hearing the different statistics and it's hard with the increased restrictions. And I hope that whatever you're going through right now, that you're coming through it okay. And I hope that somehow the love and support of your church family will be just a help and encouragement to you at this time. A really big thank you to everyone who has put things together for enabling us to be back in church just now. It's good to see those of you who are back. We're missing those of you who aren't, but it is good to be connecting online, and so thank you for checking in. And it's really good to have such a big church family everywhere to just be sharing this together. So welcome today. Our theme for today is folklore. I'd invite you during the service at various different points to just pause me and click on the links for our songs and videos. If you're watching on Facebook, then it's the post below this one. If you're watching on YouTube, if you go right to the bottom of the video and underneath anything that's below that to the first in the comments section, and that gives you the different links. If you're watching it on the website, then you'll have to go either to Facebook or YouTube to be able to find the links to click on them for our songs and videos for today. But thank you for tuning in. Our first song is Give Thanks with a Grateful Heart. Sometimes I quite like acronyms, and I've got a couple for you today. And here's the first one. FOBO. And what that means is fear of better options. Like if you're thinking about buying something and you think, I really want that, but there might be something better out there. And if I just wait, that something better might just come along. But the problem with FOBO is that often you just miss out altogether because you lose something because you're waiting for something that's an illusion. And actually, there isn't a better option. Your better option is what you have now. And here's the second one. The second one is FOMO. And that means fear of missing out. Like when you're doing something, but you're not really tuned in because you're afraid that you might be missing out on something else. So your heart is not really where you are. The problem with FOMO is that you lose the benefit of where you are now because you're always looking for something else. Do you know, sometimes you just gotta let go of the fear. Fear things seldom take you to a good place. Sometimes you have to seize the opportunity now and make it the best option. Sometimes you gotta feel the fear and do it anyway. Sometimes you gotta value what you have now and make it the very best it can be. When you do that, that's when you make life work for you. Let's do a prayer. God, sometimes I miss out because I do the fear thing. Sometimes it's fear of better options. And then I miss the thing that's my opportunity now. Sometimes it's fear of missing out. and I miss the value of where I'm at now. Today, I will feel the fear, but I'll do it anyway. And I will make my life and my path and my adventure the best they can be. Amen. And our song is Everything at Once. Please make yourself a part of our prayer. God, in this moment, I find space just to be. For a moment, I quieten the busyness of my mind, of my life, of the many voices demanding my attention. And I connect with the peace deep inside me. In this moment, there is nowhere else I need to be. No messages I need to take or respond to. Nothing I need to fill in, answer, or deal with. I know it won't be long before all these things kick in again. But for now, I will value the energy I find as I channel peace. I recognise that sometimes life feels like running in a crowd. I can't slow down, stop, change direction. I am carried along. The agenda isn't mine, but I can't see how to change it. As I discover the peace within me, the picture begins to change. I become less anxious. I find space to make good choices, not just choices I hope will be right. I allow my intuition to guide me. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance. In this moment, I value the people in my life. I recognise the part they play in my journey. Today I thought, for all who have lost someone they love. A thought for those in the closing part of their journeys. A thought for those who are fighting poor health, and for those on healing journeys. A thought for those facing hard choices, and for those afraid of what lies ahead. A thought for all who have connected with our church family. And a thought for our 3D Drumchapel family. A thought for those who make me smile, who inspire me, who are there for me, who will encourage me to undertake new adventures, and who love me for me. A thought for those who light up my life and who remind me who I am and what I have to offer. Amen. Our Bible story for today is in the book of Matthew at chapter 22 from verse 1 through 10 and then verse 14. Jesus again used stories in talking to the people. The kingdom of heaven is like this. Once there was a king who prepared a wedding feast for his son. He sent his servants to tell the invited guests to come to the feast, but they didn't want to come. So he sent other servants with this message for the guests. My feast is ready now. The food's sorted and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But the invited guests paid no attention and went about their business. One went to his farm, another to his store, while others grabbed the servants, beat them and killed them. The king was very angry, so he sent his soldiers who killed those murderers and burned down their city. Then he called his servants and said to them, My wedding feast is ready, but the people I invited didn't deserve it. Now go to the main streets and invite to the feast as many people as you find. So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, good and bad alike, and the wedding hall was filled with people. And Jesus concluded, Many are invited, but few are chosen. And our song is The Lord's My Shepherd by Stuart Townend. Today's story is about life choices. It's a challenge to think about your life choices. It can be so easy to fall into previous patterns, to make choices by default or by doing nothing, to let others set the agenda. A long time ago, I learned that tomorrow won't be better unless I make it better. In today's story, a king sends out invitations to a wedding. The invited guests are too busy to come. None of their reasons are unreasonable, which makes this story interesting. When do you recognise that you are too busy? Is there space in your life for something new, for an opportunity, a change, a new chapter, a new adventure? A while ago, I recognised my life had become way too busy. First, I dropped things that were unimportant. That made no difference whatsoever because they were unimportant. To make a difference, I had to drop some things that I felt were important. That was the real challenge. And that was what transformed my life. I had to look not just at priorities, but at priorities of priorities. I had to clear out the clutter that was stopping me from living the life that I really wanted to live. Please pause me for a moment and click on the video of cat and foil. choices aren't always easy. They aren't always straightforward. But maybe sometimes you have to step out your comfort zone to discover what might lie ahead of you. The people in the story are missing out on something amazing by hanging on too tightly to what they've got, being too scared to take that step into the unknown. In the meditation that I go to at Inner Space, Sister Rose often says, your natural state is peace. For a long time, I really didn't believe that. I used to think, nah, my natural state is manic. But I have begun to learn that she's right. My natural state, your natural state, is peace. But I have just buried it under layers of busyness. And now I am finding it again. I'm learning that if I want to find what really inspires me, what makes me come alive, I have to look beyond the things I've allowed to clutter my life. It doesn't mean that everything in my life needs to go, but I need to recognise what's significant and what isn't. In a place of peace, I make better choices. In the 1990s, Ewan McGregor did a song called Choose Life. It featured in Trainspotting. It challenges you to think about what you would choose to have in your life and what it means to choose life. What makes you who you are? A while ago, I got a call from a guild secretary from Kilmarnock asking me if I would go and speak to their group. I'd been recommended to them. Do you know, that always plays on your ego, doesn't it, if you've been recommended? I said no. I like it when I say no. Often I've taken things on, and after I've done it, I've thought, I wish I hadn't done that. Because I've never been that good at saying no. And one of the things that has changed my life has been learning to say no. The lady said, "Oh, you must be really busy." And that was kind of where the conversation ended. There was no need to take that any further. But the reality is, I'm not really busy. And the reason I'm not really busy is that I have learned to say no. I now make space for things. There is room in my life when there is some opportunity that I need to take now. I think busy is a human construct, a state of mind. Busy is seldom, if ever, constructive. Life isn't about being busy. Sometimes I have a lot to do, but I'm no longer busy. And that has made an incredible difference in the quality of my life. I'm going to ask you to pause me again and to watch our next video, which is Kimi Räikkönen. It's a Renault advert. Is there space in your life just to journey? Is there space in your life for what you want to add to it? A while ago I had a problem with my computer. I googled it. Google answer said, uninstall driver. Do you know, that sounds pretty drastic. What if I do that and nothing works? What if I do that and I lose what's on my computer? I hesitated, and it was a few days of being annoyed that it wasn't working before I uninstalled driver and reinstalled. It worked. Fear isn't ever a good reason not to do something. Sometimes you have to let go. Sometimes you have to trust God, yourself, others, the universe, the future. The guests in this story all had things to do, important things. But sometimes you gotta stop doing and make space just to be. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Professor Dumbledore says to Harry, "It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It's our choices." Let's do a prayer. God, I see how often I slip into familiar patterns. Today, instead of seeing things as I have always seen them, I open my eyes, my ears, my mind, my heart. I can always find a different way. Amen. I invite you just for a moment to share a moment for reflection, and the music that we're going to listen to during that, if you want to click on it, is River Flows in You by Yeruma. Thanks so much for checking in today. It has been great to connect with you. I hope the week ahead will be a really good one for you. Our closing song is True Colours. And then after that, again, I've linked our closing blessing. May God's blessing surround you today. Take care.